Hello guys, my name is Jesus. This is my channel Premed Max and welcome to a new video. As you signed the disclaimer, this channel is not officially associated or affiliated to any brands, to the army, or to any school or colleges. In my opinion, and any other videos that happen in this channel does not represent anyone's view. The army's view does not represent any college's view. It doesn't represent anyone but me. I just had to say that really quick. Anyways, so today we're gonna go over ROTC, some of the basics of ROTC as an ROTC student. I'm never prioritize ROTC over my studies, right? So I'm always like studying chemistry. I'm always studying something else. I do try my best in ROTC, but I'm just trying to prioritize my studies sometimes. So I gonna learn with y'all whenever I make a video is because I really want to make some learn about a topic, right? I really want to learn like about this topic in organic chemistry. I really want to learn about this topic on biology, and doing videos is a great way of learning and studying with y'all about a topic I'm interested in learning. And right now is how to be a platoon leader, basically for the platoon attack. What goes behind the process of preparation. We're gonna go over every basic because I don't know a lot of them. To be honest, we're gonna go over preparing your battle book, your battle shell. We're gonna go about like hand arm signals, and we're gonna get help. We are gonna get help. So this video will be MS1s. So something interesting about RTC is like kind of med school. So MS1 military science 1, med school, med student 1. So your first year of med school, it's also MS1. So I'm gonna graduate to being an MS4 to hopefully become an MS1 again. So we go from one MS level to the other. Med student level year 1, MS2 is med school, med student year 2. It's the same thing. Military science 1, military science. Something that you should do is get like the battle book. Yeah, there is some battle books online. There is maybe one from your old classmates, but you should make it your own so it flows more naturally once you are on the mission. So right here I have the battle book with me, and it's 33 pages. We're gonna be shortening it a little bit, and after that I'm gonna make an appointment with him right now, and we will be going over it. Right now I'm gonna be looking for my school. My school's one of my MS4s. So RTC breaks into 4 levels. MS1 is your first year. It's MS1, military science level 1. So the level 4 will be your senior year, right? One of our MS4s gave us a battle shell. So a little cheat shit book to like just cheating. My accent is so bad for that word. Remember when I came to America, I will ask my teachers for a sheet of paper, and they will be so confused of what I was saying. Anyways, they give us. He make a battle book for us, and something about battle books. You should have your own battle book. Okay, what's a battle book? So it's a cheat book, right? A cheat book for what? Whenever you're running lanes, running tactics. Whenever I mean running lanes, it's in RTC we go and we play war. That's how I would say. Like you practice how you fight, right? So you're practicing um, tactical movements, like it will be an ambush, like it will be a raid, like it will be a lot of this stuff. So you are practicing tactical movements, and those tactical movements, it has a way of going about them, right? There is a certain way. You're gonna see of okay, it's been a long time since I recorded the other part. You're gonna see of the video. I feel like this video was definitely hard to make. Well, not hard to make, but like it definitely took more time than what my other videos take usually planning, because this battle book, the one that I made, was so I could understand it because there isn't a lot of concepts that I was really familiar with it, and I will be breaking them down to y'all. and I will tell you how my mission went because I did want to run like a lane with this Baruch. It was an attack, and it was during like the super lab, so it was like um it it was made so I could know how to react under stress. I feel like the MS4s knew like I had like a plan, and they just wanted to test how I would do in like in real life. In real life, like life changes, right? So like in real life, whenever you go to situations, not everything's gonna be perfect. So like they changed my location multiple times. I think they changed it like 4 times. So I had to redo my planning process under stress, under a time constraint. So that was fun and it was interesting, and overall I liked it. So let's get to business.
All right, good afternoon, Ortega. Here's your blue card for the attack into a hasty defense for the Super Lab. So for background, I put Super Lab attack lane into a hasty defense. Um, situation, I put that the lane wasn't planned well by Cadre and it led to some chaotic last minute decisions, but I just wanted that to be noted. And then your PL for this lane.
To analyzing the battle book. So I'll be placing it here probably. Okay, so set security of an AA. Assembly AA stands for assembly area. So that's where you're starting, like you're assembling. Um, you probably will walk to your AA, or that's where you're starting from. So yeah, you set security of your AA. The first thing, even though it's like the PSG responsibility, you have to make sure that the AA is secure. Like, no, because something is not responsibility. As a PL, when you're running a lane, even something is not directly your responsibility, everything falls underneath you. So you have to have in mind what's everybody's role and what everybody should be doing so you can direct accordingly. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna be PL for this lane, so that's where my responsibility falls. Like that's all I need to learn. No, you have to know what everybody's supposed to be doing and what everybody needs to be doing. So you have to make sure that your PSG, thankfully mine was really proficient, like had security set, and make sure that everybody is in the 360 security. Everybody is in the point that you want them to be, that there is not a lot of spaces in your security, that they're not two together, that your heavy weapons are pointing to the open areas, because your heavy weapons are your weapons that produce the most casualties, right? So you want them opening to any possible avenues of approach where the enemy could come. So you set your security, right? And you set your security, and you radio up. You radio, hey, I'm ready to receive the mission. You go for your third task. Tell the deployment to plot. That's like you receive your mission before you even start making the warno. You have assigned appointment. I hope that whenever you were walking to the AA, or like maybe you got tell using your AA, hey, this is your AA, this is your mission. You set security, and all of the time you need to be thinking, or unless your appointment has been assigned to you, like who's my appointment, who's proficient with land now. For me, my appointment it was assigned to me, and I told my PSG, and I told someone that I knew it was proficient. I told two people, like, hey, make sure like yeah, go over his points, make sure that like yeah, go over his route, make sure that yeah, help him whoever he needs, because his task is really important for this mission. So it, you get the knowledge in time, and the first thing you're gonna do is do your 1, 2, 3 calculation. So I told my RTO, hey, let's do a little formula, right? So the time right now it's 2, or long later than time it's let's say 5. Let's say 5. This is an example, right? So 2 minus 5, and after that we have 3 hours, right? And by the 3 hours is not another time. So by 3 hours, the mission needs to be done. So of those 3 hours, we have one. You have 1 hour to plan. You have 1 hour to plan, right? So that's your 1 to 3. So after that, you go to your Warner shell. And the Warner is the what, where, who, when, and why. So it's your 5 W's. Okay, anyway. So in your what is what the mission is. For example, I was conducting an attack. So we're gonna conduct an attack where the coordinates of the AA, so where you are, and the coordinates of the objective, where you're gonna be at. By this time, you haven't set up the coordinates of your RP, unless in your instructions has been like, this is where you wanna set up your RP. So the coordinates of your AA and the coordinates of your objective. So 15 Romeo, Tango Quebec, 1 4 6 9ers, 7 8 1 8. Who the enemy? How many enemies and how do they look like? Oh, we have a 2 to 5 man team wearing BU tops and OCP bottoms. And when? The no later than time. The no later than time of when you have to finish your mission and when you have to do your upboard. So like you did your 1 to 3 rule and now you have 1/3 to plan, right? So by that time you have to have your upboard done. So you're like, hey, in my warnum, I'm telling you when I'm telling you my upboard, right? So the last thing is the why. So it's the commander's intent. So it will be given to you in your mission. So for example, in an attack, it's to see ski terrain and kill the enemy. So and your warner you also includes your challenge and pass. So a challenge and pass is like a phrase that you have to say. For example, mine is Royal Rabbit. So somebody can say, "Hey, have you seen the rabbit?" And the response, "Roger," or something like that. Like a phrase including Roger. Like, yeah, I saw one. He told me Roger. So that's the challenge and pass. That's like a little phrase to make sure that like people are secure and the enemy like nobody's pretending to be no one, right? And the running pass is like you have to set up a running pass. So like in case like things goes out and they have to keep running. So the running pass was total and the number is 7, the whole number. So after that, in my Warno, I also have included some tasks and responsibilities because I want my tasks to be done as quick as possible. So if I can get them done in the Warno, might as well. So PSG, make sure to get number of canteens, number of ammo, and that everybody's in uniform. That's the PSG responsibilities. So if I'm PSG and they don't show me that in my Warno, I'm looking at this shell, I'm like, oh, PSG, that's my responsibility. They did not tell me to do this in the Warno, but I might as well get it done. So after that, I go to task, and this is still my Warner, right? So take somebody from security, 2 to 3 people to security to help you. I tell the security squad team lead, hey, give me 2 to 3 people from security to help me prepare the TMK. I tell assault 1 to give me 2 people from Aiden leader, and I tell assault 2 to give me 2 people from EPW, and I tell the weapons team to give me 2 people from demo. So like help me prepare my specialty teams, right? So after that, I have my outboard shell. I don't have it with me. I might show it. I might not, depending. Like I'm showing you my one here. But like I printed one, right? But mine is laminated, so I'm not gonna write over my laminated. There's people who love to write under it with like markers. They like dry erase markers. I was advised by the person who helped me make my battle book to don't do that. I was advised to just get a sheet of paper and just be filling in the blanks. You don't have to rewrite anything, just like the blanks. So I'm gonna go good morning, afternoon, night, and after that I fill up the next blank. Okay. So good morning everybody. I'm Cadet Ortega from I would be your PSPL, platoon leader, or squad leader, depending on the mission. Like if we're running squad tactics, I'm your squad leader. If we're running PL tactics, if you're running platoon tactics, I'm your PL, right? Please put on pen and paper and prepare to copy the upboard. Please hold on the questions until the end. The time now is, and you give up the time. Okay, so I'm just filling out the things. I'm like, good. I'm filling out the things. I'm like, okay, it's the morning. What time will I'm prepared to give the outboard? Okay, And after that, when I'm going to my checklist, I'm like, oh, make sure everybody's doing rehearsals. So by this time, I hope my squad leaders already came back and they were like, hey, I have 2 people for EPW, I have 2 people for A leader, I have 2 people for my specialty teams. If they haven't come back, whoever came back first, I'm like, hey, get in charge of rehearsals, make sure all the squad leaders are doing rehearsals, and thank you so much for your time.
So my observations were that you put a roll call. You did a roll call before the Warno, which is good. You gave key tasks in the Warno, which is something that we've been trying to get y'all to do, so kudos for that. You did not give a back brief for the outboard time, but that is okay. I liked how you had the squad leader ensure that rehearsal's done because the PSG was busy with something else. I liked how you shifted taskings with that.
Now let's go over our outboard. So in the outboard, we're gonna retake the war now, right? So after that, I know that. So okay, so I don't worry about filling that in. Okay, the area of operation. I'm operating in the dark forest. Example. Area of interest. The area of interest is Chick-fil-A. Okay. So and the coordinates, like objective name and coordinates. Okay. The terrain. We have to mention if there is any pertinent terrain to the mission. Something that's important that your soldiers know. Why will it be important to know if there is hills, if there is thorns, if there is open space, if there is building and wire? Because the soldiers have to know that. The hills, maybe they can prepare themselves so like they don't get cut. Like, hey, make sure you have your socks all the way up, or like make sure you are talking if there is hills so they can like localize themselves in the map. Maybe when they get lost and they're like, oh, we're actually supposed to be in the right side of this hill or to the left side of this hill, right? Your squad leaders are supposed to know if there is any open space, because if there is open space the enemy can see you and kill you. Okay, buildings and water, right? Any obstacles as mentioned, like fence, lake, and thorns, it goes like it's not part of terrain, but it's like pertinent to the mission as well. So avenues of approach, if there is any LDAs. What does LDA means? Linear danger area. So what will linear danger areas like a road, and having a road close to the objective or close to your route plan of how you're gonna go from the AA to the objective, it's important to know, because that's where a car full of people can pass, like reinforcements, QRF, quick reaction force, and they can come and your mission can go south. So that's important to know that, like, hey, there is an LDA through here. So when we pass through there, let's be careful.
Your outboard was given on time. This was after multiple like fragos and stuff, so I give you kudos for that. You briefed the obstacles in your outboard brief.
And objectives on objective or route plan, as you said. Key terrains is has like the terrain like lake, hills, etc. Observations and field of fire. Any open fields and how the enemy can see you through them. So like in my mission, within there was a really big open area. After we had to go through the forest, and I was like, "Can I go across?" And they were like, "No." And so we went around to hug the tree line, and that's how we did it. So because the enemy can see you if you're in an open field, but if you go around hugging the tree line, the enemy is less likely to see you.
You decided to take the straight shot instead of like trailing the tree line because you weren't confident in the point land nav. I think you still should have hugged the tree line, even if a point man isn't confident in like direction and distance and whatever. They can hug the tree line pretty easily and use the terrain association.
Enemy on hills, for example, if there's a hill, if the enemy is up and you're down, they have a better observation field that you have. So that's pertinent to the plan, and that's why it has to be given in the outboard. Cover and concealment, where your soldiers can hide. What's the difference between cover and concealment, Jesus? So cover, it's something that can cover you from a bullet, and concealment is something that can hide you from their eyes, so they don't shoot a bullet to you. So in a concealment, it's like a bush, like maybe a tree, like maybe high grass. Unless it's like Mr. Tree, that tree won't stop a bullet, but that's the concealment. But the cover might be like there's some buildings, there is like stuff that can cover you from the bullet. So some covers of concealment, samples, cars, building, or trees. Commander's intent, take it from the why on the warning. So you're just filling up all these things like, okay, here, 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 and you're planning, and while you're planning there's a lot of people asking you a lot of things that I wasn't prepared to. I feel like even though I'm sealing stuff, it gets even though I'm selling stuff, I feel like I'm like a person that likes to plan things. I'm not a person who likes to calculate things. And when things deviate of what I have planned, that's when things got stressful. And I feel like the people who were grading me or who planned this lane for me knew exactly that. So they were like, oh, you think you have a plan? No, you don't. So everything went kind of south from that. And you had to realize that like that's life. That's life. That's literally life. That's really stressful for me because I'm like I always try to plan like not for this, but just like in my general life day. And there is so many factors in life that you cannot predict, that you cannot plan. So you're planning all these things. It's really stressful, right? And after that, you have people being like telling you like random things, and they want your input because you are the PL from the lane, and that's gonna be stressful. And you have to take a moment to breathe in, breathe out, hold it. And what I did was, hey, I don't want questions asked right now. If it's not really pertinent to me, please try to wait. Try to ask me the pertinent things. Try to do as much as you can, and after that, I'll tell you like if it was good or not. But try to wait, and yeah, come and ask me questions. But I'm gonna be planning my things from the side. And because I get stressed, I don't say easily, but I'm not a person who gets stressed. I took myself from the talk and I walk a little bit, and I was there with my RTO asking questions. And when I needed people there to kind of plan some things, like I need my HL, like my helicopter landing zone from the medic, I'm like, come here, let's talk about where you want to put your helicopter landing zone, right? Like, okay, I think here. I'm like, okay, I think here. Okay, let's put it here, right? So I took myself from the tag because there wouldn't be that much noise, that many crazy people like doing the TMK and that stuff. So I could have my time to, okay, this is how I want to run my mission.
You know, to work on your demeanor when talking to other people. For your improve for develops, creating a learning environment.
Okay, so the commander's intent and purpose, you take it from the why of your war. No, good thing we made such a good one already. So PIR is the enemy capabilities, and is, I put no weapons in here because like sometimes whenever you're giving your mission, you're like enemy capabilities include AK-47, include rocket launchers, and that's not really what you mean. Like it's like enemy capabilities like radio. Okay, civilian considerations, like maybe there's an active conflict where you're running the mission. Maybe I don't know, the civilians they don't like you. But most of the times when you're running ROTC lanes, it's gonna be civilians confederation. Do not mess with civilians unless you have a crazy lane. Unless you have a crazy lane, like my lane was crazy, so I had to change. I had to change my coordinates. I don't know how many times. I don't really know how many times. I had like to change and change and change and change my coordinates, and I had to like my planning process. I had to rethink it because it's like, oh, there's an up area right here, or our plan is gonna be different here. So missions, depending on who you get, like what mission you get, it can be crazy. Well, civilian consideration, do not mess with the civilian consideration.
And then for my other sustain for resiliency, I put that you recover quickly from adversity, and that you're able to shift based on changes, hit times, fragros from cadre, because that lane was pretty chaotic because we were getting a bunch of things from higher.
Weather, the weather to be hot or raining, that's important because you have to tell people to drink water. You don't want not hiccups, and you want people, if it's raining, maybe you're in a FTX, maybe you give people an extra 5 minutes to ensure their rocks are waterproof, to ensure they can change socks, and maybe their morale is up. And now you change the whole course of your mission because they actually want to try. So that's like the little stuff, right? Um, Enemy composition, disposition, activities, and key individuals. You pull from the who and you are. Okay, your ML COA. This is the ML COA that my MS Force helped me prepare. and it will be pertinent for your mission, but this is like a general one. So enemies will fight with aggression. The enemy will group into squads or platoon elements to attack static locations. MD COA, they will regroup into a larger enemy. ML COA, most likely course of action. MD COA, most deadly course of action. So in the MD COA, they will regroup into a larger element. If you are like in a squad, they will regroup into a platoon. If you are like in a platoon, they will record into like So friendly forces, if there are any friendly forces in the area. Okay, so right here, I hope that by this time that you get here, you already have your specialty teams and your squad leaders already conduct your rehearsals, and you just come here and they're like, okay, so Juanito, Bernardo, Ortega, Beatriz. Good, you have your specialty teams. So you just reiterate your challenging path, your running phrase, and your number from the Warno. Okay, so our mission, no later than 15:30, second platoon will conduct an attack in vicinity of 15:30 Tango Quebec 1638. 9-4-8-1. Okay, in order to destroy enemy forces, this key to rating defense against QRF and quick reaction force. So quick reaction force, we talked about it whenever I was telling you about the LDA, people who can come fast to kill you. So you read your mission twice. This, in order to, is an example of attack and defense. This is not what like your order 2 is gonna be every time. So after that, you run to your terrain model, you check the terrain model, you ask your opponent, hey, can I see your map? Oh, this is the route that we're going. This is the route plan that you suggest. Okay, I like it, I don't like it. Let's try to go this way instead. Let's try to hug the tree line. And maybe let's try not to go to the open area. Like adjust your terrain model. Like you want an L shape, you want banding, what you want, how your mission is gonna operate. That's like your little. That's like where your personality gets to show in your mission, right? So you just have to adjust it, and after that, you kind of plan your execution. Like, how am I gonna plan this? How you need to understand your execution because you are gonna brief it. Don't let just like the appointment. Don't let like other people like they might be helping you with it. Just run around with it. Now you need to understand it. You need to understand what's your main like who's gonna initiate fire, what's your fire plan, and all those little things you need to understand it correctly. Like at this time, please put down blah 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 blah. So like that's whenever you are actually briefing it. Make sure to explain the order of movements and methods of travel. So that's what you're thinking. You're like, hey, this is how I like it for this mission. Maybe for another mission, I will do it differently. Example, we're gonna fall through the woods, and then when we get to an opening, we're gonna move in a platoon called on fireworks. Fancy words. Okay, so I want security squad at the front, and I want the PL me with Alpha Force squad, which is weapons. I want assault behind. I want PSG with Bravo Force squad, and I want assault. Okay. So after that, you brief your TMK if you're actually briefing, because like this is like you plan it once, you have a plan, you have everything written. Okay, I'm ready to brief my operator, and after that, you just go from the checklist again. Okay, sustainments. The sustainment paragraph is done by the PSG, but if you want the PSG to make your sustainment paragraph, you have to ask the PSG to make the sustainment paragraph. Because if you don't ask the PSG to make your sustainment paragraph, if your PSG doesn't have a sustainment paragraph plan, it's not gonna be able to brief anything. So you get to that part and you're like, hey PSG, are you too busy? Like, and at this point, like after security set, after she has checked like number of ammo, number of water, and she checked that everybody's in uniform, and she has helped you like maybe with like the squad leaders. Maybe they had like a question. She had like supervised that everybody did rehearsals. Like
scenario. And then for my sustains for you, I put gets results. So you designated, clarified, and deconflicted duties with responsibilities. This goes back to you changing like taskings based on who's available and who's not. So like when the PSG was busy, you had the squad leader make sure that rehearsals were getting done.
and she supervised rehearsals, and the rehearsals were done, and they were done correctly. Okay, so you're like, hey, can you prepare my sustainment paragraph? So you go over the sustainment paragraph, number of canteens. Class 1, we have 16 canteens. We have 5 MREs, a chicken chunks. Class 2, anybody is wearing OC play, flicks, face paint, gloves, eye pro, squad leaders, make sure that everybody's in uniform. Class 3, none. Most of the time, most of your lanes are gonna be none, unless you're in a crazy lane. Class 4, none, unless I run a defense and we have barbed wire available, but we didn't actually have like the barbed wire. We have like some tape. So like class 4, you know. Class 5 ammunitions. We have this number of magazines. We have how much magazines you have. Okay. Class 6 personal items. Have personal items? No. Class 7 major items. No. Class 9. No. Class 6, 7, 8. I'm sorry. Class 8 medical supplies. Your CLS bag, your leaders, and anything regarding med. Class 10 repairs. Miscellaneous, class 10 miscellaneous, like radius and niche things we have. Okay, we get to the medical part. Get to the beans. I like the medical part. Okay, so locations of the CCP. So what's a CCP? The Casualty Collection Point. Okay, until we occupy the ORP, it's rolling. Okay, ORP, Objective Rally Point. What's that, Jesus? You've been saying the ORP. I don't know what an ORP is. So your AA, where you start, your OBJ, objective, where you wanna end, your Objective Rally Point, right here. So close enough to the objective, but you can still like plan. You set your security. You can go to your leader's recon. You know. So that's like what your ORP it is. Is okay. Until we occupy the ORP, the CCP is going to be the AA, your assembly area. So until we get to the ORP, or objective, or CCP is the AA, then it will become on ORP until we're in the objective. Once the objective, once in the objective, the casualty collection points is 50 meters behind the support line, where the medic picks picks up the best spot. So that's like you wanna let your medic know, hey, this is the medic plan. This is our like casualty collection point plan. So you're gonna help me pick up the best spot. So whenever we're out there, have your eyes open for a good spot. Okay. HLC helicopter landing zone. Use an use an open area where a helicopter can land close to objective. Ambulatory exchange point. So use close to a road. That's like when they can get picked up. You know, close to the ORP. Make sure. So all of these things like you're gonna get coordinates for it. You're gonna ask your medic to help you get coordinates for it. You're gonna ask your medic for the input for them, and you're gonna look. You're gonna be like, maybe your medic is like, "Hey, I want my HLC right here," and you're like, "No, that's not an open area. A helicopter cannot get there. We want ours right here in the open area." So you have to rectify the coordinates, or you have to like be like, "Hey, point pull up these." And do I think it's a good idea? Make sure that everything medical is on the TMK. So like you make sure that all of the little things like and all your LDAs, everything is in the TMK. Medical pace plan, medevac pace plan. So primary self aid, alternate body aid. So you say your medical pace plan. Key self aid, A body aid, B alien leader, E medic. Command signal done by RTO. Use as the sustainment paragraph. If you want your command signal paragraph done by your RTO, you have to ask your RTO. Like you're preparing this, and I'm like, oh, command signal is done by the. Oh, okay. Hey, RTO, can you do it really quick? Okay, period. For me, my RTO was an MS1, so they were like, nope, cannot do it. I'm like, oh, thank you. So I had to do it. So if PL, make sure she prepares it because they cannot brief something they didn't prepare. Okay, our frequency is, our channel is, and our backup channel is. Your call sign and like for PL call sign is 6, PSG call sign is 7, first squad call sign is 1, second squad call sign is 2, third squad call sign is 3, weapon squad call sign is 4, medic is 7 mic, because the medic is with the PL, right? So no, the medic is with the PSG. I'm sorry, guys. The medic is with the PSG, so it's gonna be 7 PSG and Mike, right? RTO Bearcat 6 Romeo, because the RTO is with your PL. Okay, higher element call sign is gonna be like main. Okay, your communication pace plan, radios, hand signal, whisper, and screaming. Read brief, challenge and pass, running phrase and number.
And then your movement to there was, it was nice. It was, I mean, I can't really remember it much because at that point, like, we were going into a defense and the grading was being stopped, but for the most part it looked pretty well.
Okay, succession of command will be PL, PSG, weapons, third squad, second squad, first squad. The time now is, look at your watch, bring a watch. I don't wear watches, I'm not like a fashion guy, but I have a little watch on my car, and if I'm gonna be PL, I'm gonna be squad leader, I'm gonna pull it up and make sure to put a watch on, make sure to have my right uniform on. Okay, command and brief, ask questions. So you wanna have to make sure it's like feedback. So you brief all your things, and now you have to make sure they understand. Hey, Cadet Jimenez, what's gonna be the succession of command? What's gonna be the order that we're moving in? What's the coordinates of the objective? Who is gonna initiate fire? How they're gonna initiate fire? What's gonna happen if somebody gets injured? Who's alien leader? You know, so all of those things, you don't ask it one person, but you ask them around, and you make sure that everybody understands your plan in case you die. I didn't die, but a lot of people in my lane die because our enemy was infinite. Like a lot of people like keep coming, and they were unstoppable. So that was like kind of the fun part of my lane, that we our medics got killed and our alien leader got killed, and at some point the lane was like we just had mask out, and it was fun because everybody was screaming, and it was planned like that. It was planned. It was a pre-planned mask out to see how I would react under stress. Any questions? Okay, so now it's their time to answer the questions, and they're gonna be like, hey, maybe you didn't brief this. Hey, maybe I have this question. Hey, let's add up this question. Okay.
Like IDF and react to contact near and far, but you didn't explain what y'all as a platoon would be doing in those situations, and it's important to repeat those so that it's understood. And then I liked how you did a back brief and had the key leaders then go and move around their pieces on the op board, on the team, sorry. That was really cool, and I haven't seen much of that this semester, so I applaud you for that. And then just something to put in for future things, because you did have an FO and they did submit fires and everything, but in order for those fires to actually be used at camp, like actually like be able to be called up, they have to be briefed during the op board plan, so everybody is ensured to know where those fires are landing and stuff like that. They have to be briefed in order to be used.
And I would recommend to call everybody in, including the alpha team members, to take like an attendance of the op board while you're gonna start the op board and start the briefing. So this is the like final thing from the planning, right? Like you finish your planning, and after that you're like start the briefing. So I go all the way back in, and I already have everything filled out. I already have all the instructions, all the things that had to be done.
And then you also asked the grader if your op board was good, but that's not something that's gonna happen at camp. Like, you need to be confident in your decisions, so you need to learn how to backwards plan so that you are confident in those decisions and do ensure that that is good. If they give you a hit time of when you need to leave the patrol base by, then that's something that you need to consider when you're backwards planning and just make a decision on. So if you're asking the grader, like, is this good because of the hit time? That makes sense, but at the same time, you need to be able to make a decision and be strong with that decision without asking the lane grader.
So moving to ORP, if necessary, 360 security of the ORP, react to contact plan. So what happens if you react to contact? IDF plan, how you're gonna get out of there, like if you have IDF, HLC, AXP, and CCP location, order formations, LDAs, leader recon. Who are you taking in your leader's recon? That's such a big part of it. Who are you taking in your leader's recon? Your gawas, like when are you gonna be back from leader's recon? Like the little message you leave, like where are you going? What happens if you receive contact? You know, your SNO, you do rehearse. Well, I don't like to do my rehearsal at the ORP. I like to do them in the AA. If you don't have enough time, we do them at the ORP. Establishment of a target support line, moving towards the objective, TRP, section of fire, pace plan, LOAs. I feel like we went over most of these things in the video. Set up hasty defense and get off objective in less than 7 minutes. So I'll tell you more about my lane. So it was fun. I hope I asked people for their input on my lane. Yeah, maybe get to see some of the videos. Yeah, maybe don't. I don't know if they're gonna send me videos, but we get there. We get to the AA. I set up that everything until that point goes smoothly, and after that, my coordinates keep getting changed. They're like, oh, actually, no, this is your objective now. Actually, this is your objective now. This is your objective now. And my time, like, I did have like 10 extra minutes to plan. Honestly, like, that was kind of wasn't enough for how much our things change. So it was interesting, and that was stressful. That was honestly stressful. But I thought I was like still having some fun from it. Okay, so everybody picks up. We go to my ORP. They was set up for me. I get to my ORP and they're like, okay, guys, actually you're under attack and set up a hasty defense as quick as possible. So we set up our hasty defense, and we start getting attacked pretty frequently. So at this point, like we start getting attacked and attack and attack and attack and attack, and I was very stressed. Honestly, I was very stressed. I was like through my little book, and I'm like, okay, I did this. Okay, I did this. Okay, I did this. Oh no, my medic died now. I usually the medic, so I'm a train someone to be the medic. So I'm like, hey, come to the center, and this is what you do to be a medic. This is what you do for alien leader, because my alien leader died too. So I was like, I train alien leader guys, and I would send them to be like alien leader, and I will send them to be medic, and they will kill them. They will be like, "Oh, you're the alien leader now." Boom! And every time I did that, that's what will happen. So something I did that I think is great, and I would recommend as advice, and I don't hear it as an advice of frequent. I called someone. I called like the guy that I trusted the most technically, and I was like, "Hey, friend, can you come to the center really quick? I'm like, this is what's going on. I need advice of what to do. Like, what would you recommend?" And I'm listening to his advice, and it's not like that makes you less of a leader. Like, yeah, like I see how in your grading it can take from your leadership, but I feel like in real life, whenever you're doing something, you and there's people sometimes they know more than you, and it's okay to like listen from advice. It's okay to like not everything has to be in your shoulders. Like sometimes you can ask for advice while you're doing something. And my friend is like, hey, Jesus, the first thing you need to do is breathe in, breathe out, relax. Do no more than you think you know, and just go with your feelings.
You briefed the contingencies, but you didn't explain what to do for these contingencies. Things from higher, and then there was issues within like our own cohort on giving you the fragor and the Warno. But yeah, so that is my blue card for you. We're not doing grades, or at least I was told we're not giving grades, so I won't be giving you a grade for this one. But I do want to say that take all of this, absorb it, learn from it, and be prepared for next semester, because there's going to be a lot of changes based on the way that camp is going to be happening when you go. So just take all this, absorb, and learn from it, but get ready to basically see something completely different next semester, as camp is going to be changing. And I don't know if they've told you anything about that, but just prepare yourself. But anyways, nice job and have a good winter break.